Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode on the Unnamed Server. I'm Angry Canine, and today I'm over here in the end farm right now, just doing a little bit of repair work on my tools and armor. After that, I want to head on over to the Guardian farm, show you the progress I've made on that. Now, I've got about half of the spawning area done on that thing, and I'm already getting some pretty darn good spawn rates. I've been doing some work lighting up the caves around the area as well, and doing pretty good so far. Got quite a bit of drops, and they seem to spawn pretty darn good. Now, I based this thing on Asuma's design. In the last season of Hermitcraft, he built Guardfall. Now, I used a very similar design for the spawning area for that. Made a few changes, though, which we will take a look at, and I think those changes probably help the spawn rates pretty good. Now, you can download Hermitcraft Season 2's world from hermitcraft.com. Just follow the links. And you can check out Guardfall for yourself if you want, and you can see that. I think my spawn rates are just a little bit better. I'm not really sure if it's because of all the cave lighting, or if it's just the changes I made to the minor changes that I made to the farm. But we will definitely see. We'll take a look at that and talk about that a little bit. All right, so I've made quite a bit of progress over here on the Guardian farm. As you can see, I've got one half of the spawning area done. And this thing is spawning really well. I'm going to take a quick run down here. And you can already see these guys are falling like crazy. And there's probably a whole bunch of stuff down here. I've been over here for a little while. So there's probably quite a few drops. You can see there is quite a bit of drops down there. And I'm going to run over here. Jump over here and take a look. Now, in the last episode, I had this floor done. But it wasn't really far enough down to kill these guys. So I lowered it down a lot. And I'm not really sure if I'm going to do it this way. The idea was that there were going to be droppers, dispensers, or whatever all along the side here on either side. And at the AFK spot up there, you could hit a button and it would activate all these droppers and send water streams flowing down to carry all these guys to a center channel, which would take them over to a mob elevator. Hey! A mob elevator, which would carry them up there, and then you could kill them manually. But I don't really need an XP farm here. I have the Enderman farm. I have a dual mob farm over in Spawn, so I really don't need another XP farm. And that guy landed on the steps up there, so he's just kind of bouncing around. So I'm probably not going to do that method. Take it up there and have a manual killing area there. I don't really see any point of it. There's another one over here. And it's kind of hard to get these guys with arrows. Sometimes you get lucky, but yeah. Anyway, some of the changes that I made as far as the spawning area go compared to Asuma's. First of all, he had the very top level of his spawning area at level 63, which is even with the sea level of Minecraft. And I really didn't want to do that. According to the wiki, if the block at level 63 has a direct view of the sky, these guys will spawn a little bit less. Apparently, the Guardians spawn better in covered areas, so they spawn more frequently inside water or ocean monuments than they do outside the ocean monument. So I added a layer of half slabs over top of it, and it seems to have helped. These guys spawn pretty good, as you can see. And like I said, there are tons of drops over there. And we've already got quite a few chests full of drops. There's a bunch of chests down here now. And we've got slime spawning all over the place, but that won't be a problem once I get this done. There are several ways I could do this floor here if I wanted to. If I really wanted to be crazy, I could make a bunch of hoppers, but I don't want to do that. That would be insane. It would take tons of wood and iron. Probably got the iron, don't have the wood, but I'm not going to do that anyway. I could go ahead and make the water streams and carry them all down to the central channel and have a kill chamber over there. I'm thinking about maybe doing that actually, but the way I want to do it, I'll probably raise the floor up quite a bit. Just carry them all over to a central channel here and then drop them down and kill them. Now, without lava, they need to drop, I think, 32 or 33 blocks to kill. And with lava, if you drop them through lava, you only need to drop them about 12 or 13 blocks. That is another way I could do it that I was thinking about doing it. Right now what I'm going to do, you see where that dirt is. Those mark the areas where I need to place all the fence gates. You can see I have a bunch of fence gates over there. And I actually have one of them somewhere in there that is facing the wrong way. Yeah, right there under the crosshair. And that was something I did accidentally. And there's another over here somewhere. There's a block, a glass block that's missing that I accidentally knocked out, so I need to replace that. But I'm going to go ahead and lay out a couple of these dirt strips here, and then I'm going to place the fence gates, and we'll talk about a little bit how that works out. So I will be right back. I'm going to collect some of these drops too. I've got 2 dirt strips placed here, and I've got 2 stacks of 58 fence gates, and as you can see, they are arranged 2 by 2 all the way down, and then I've got to go through and open them all up. So the actual spawn area is 58 blocks long by 2 blocks wide in each chamber, and there are 9 chambers. That's why we have 9 areas of dirt here, and that all totaled is going to take well over 2,000 fence gates. That side alone is over 1,000. So each side is going to take, I think it's 1,024. I'm not exactly sure. Looking at 18 strips of 58. And so 18 times 58, whatever that is, that's how many fence gates it's going to need for one side of this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and place these. And we got to start 3 away from the sand wall here to make sure we're even here. And I'm also going to make sure that all these are open facing the same way. And all I got to do is just run down. Now I have these divided up in stacks of 58, so I just run backwards all the way down here. And I don't have to worry about falling off unless I go to the side. And I just throw these all the way down. And then once I get them all placed, I just run to the other end and open them all up to make sure that they're all facing the right way. Doesn't really have to be facing the right way. It doesn't really matter. I'm just kind of picky like that, so just try to get all of them open here real fast. And that's really all there is to it, and this will hold the water in place, as you can see. And then we've got water source blocks at the top there so that the water is always flowing down, 5 blocks. And I decided to surround it with white stained glass just because I think it looks cool. I like the look of water behind white stained glass. I think it looks pretty neat. And if I can get these open here, and what I plan to do eventually is I'll probably do something with the walls as well. I'm guessing that I'm going to go ahead and make an AFK spot up top here instead of down below. Not really sure about that yet. Haven't quite decided which way I'm going to go with that. There's another one of those guys bouncing around. Pretty sure I got that floor far enough down that they die on. They hit those stairs over there. I thought they were hitting the chest, but the chests are actually sunk into the walls. So they hit those stairs over there and they don't die. Then they just kind of bounce down the stairs and then bounce around over here. So I'm going to go ahead and place the rest of these fence gates on both sides all the way across. And once I get all these done, I'll come back and then we'll take a look at the spawning area here. I'll go ahead and finish up one chamber on this side and we'll be good to go. And there we have it. Got all the fence gates in place there, and as far as I can tell, each and every one of them are facing the right way. So we shouldn't have any problems with that. Next thing I got to do is build the glass frame around this thing, and that's actually quite easy. The hardest part about this whole thing, really, as far as the spawn chambers go, is getting all the dirt out from underneath those fence gates. That was kind of a pain in the backside on this side here, but I did manage to do it. So as far as the glass frame goes, it's really simple. It's just following it right around this, surrounding them completely. So I'm going to go ahead and place a couple of blocks of dirt there. This one's in the wrong place, but and that's all there is to it. And I've got plenty of white stained glass here, and if I can do this without falling off, and I just place it all the way around just like this. Nothing to it. I mean, there is absolutely nothing to this at all. Very simple. And I just do that 5 high all the way around. And like I said, there are 9 spawning chambers all the way across here. So where the gaps are in the dirt, that's where I frame it in. Once I get the bottom layer done here for each side, I'm going to... Oop, that's not where they're supposed to go. That is not where they're supposed to go. I don't have a silk touch pick, so we'll just get rid of that. And lose a couple of blocks. No problem. But once I get this framework done on the bottom layer here, I'll dig out all the dirt and get rid of it. Last time I built the whole frame all the way up and then put the half slabs on it, put the water in it, and had everything going, and I completely forgot to dig out the dirt, take the dirt out from underneath the fence gates. So that was kind of a pain in the backside. So I guess I probably could have used signs. I don't really know if that would have been fewer resources than using fences. I'm not really sure. I guess it would have been possible. Might have to try that sometime in a future build. See if signs will work instead of fence gates. Can't use trapdoors here because they do have a hitbox, and they will keep the guardians from falling through. Trapdoors, when they're, or I'm sorry, these fence gates, when they're open, they just pass right through, so it's not a problem. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and build up this glass framework and on this first one, and I'll be right back. Okay, well, I've got most of the framework in place there, at least the bottom level of it, and I've gotten rid of all the dirt, so you can see right through the fence gates down to the floor there. And I'm going to encase this entire thing in white stained glass, just like I did on that side, with the partitions in the middle. Now, you might be wondering why I have glass in the middle here, why it's partitioned into 9 individual chambers instead of just one big open area. And that is because of the way the water flow works. The water has to flow down to drive these guys out of the spawn area, and it needs to have a wall close by to exert that downward force. So if I just put this one big open area without the partitions in the middle, then the downward flowing water really wouldn't push them out. They'd probably just swim around here and chase squid that spawn up here every once in a while. So that's why that is like that instead of just one big spawning area. So I've got this first chamber set up here, and I've got a dirt layer in here. And the reason why is because I'm going to place, ice all the way down here on either side. 2 rows of ice all the way back, 58 blocks long. And then I'm going to take my pickaxe and break it all, and that will create water source blocks here. And once I take the dirt out underneath it, then the water will start flowing down, and any guardians that spawn over here will be pushed right out and drop to the ground. So I don't really know if this is going to increase or decrease the spawning rates in that one side over there, but we will find out. So I'm going to go ahead and break this, and this is just easier to do it this way instead of using a water bucket. Since I have depth strider boots, I can just run right through the water as if it's not even there. And I also want to get rid of the dirt underneath there and try not to fall off here. And hopefully I can do this without tripping fence gates either. I could probably just run through the water and do this, but I think it'd just be easier to do it this way. And this is the same method I use for all of these spawn chambers all the way across. And hopefully I don't have any water falling down out of the bottom there. Looks like everything should be alright. Okay, and there we go. And that should do it. And I'm going to fall right through here and splat. Pick up all this dirt here real quick like. And I had an Enderman over here earlier, spawned over here and took a dirt or a sand block out of the wall over there on that side. So I had a bunch of these guys hopping around. They might still be over here. Nope, looks like most of them are gone. I guess they do despawn eventually. And these guys are so hard to hit with the... So we should actually have some guys spawning over here on this side. Maybe not, though, because I don't have that covered yet. I've noticed as long as this is covered... Ooh! As long as this is covered, they spawn really well. But if I were to uncover it, it wouldn't spawn quite as well. So I'm going to go up there and get some half slabs and cover that spawn chamber up with half slabs, just like I have on this side. And we'll see what kind of a spawn rate we get on that side. Right now there's nothing falling, but that view is open to the sky. Once I cover it, it should pick up pretty well. Okay, everybody, I've got the other side done. I went ahead and just completed the whole thing. I got all the half slabs in place, all the glass, water, everything is all done, and I just fell off of there. And that was intentional. So I want to come down here and take a quick look at the spawn rates here. Looks like these guys come down pretty quick, pretty much non-stop. There are a bunch of drops all over the ground down there. I took the beacon out that was over there because they were landing on that thing and it wasn't killing them, and then they were landing down there and hopping around. I still need to get those stairs out of there, and I need to get those chests out of there that somebody put down there. And then we are pretty much good to go. Now I've got this one side right here where I forgot to dig the dirt out, and that is the only side. But even with that being blocked off, you can see we do still get some great spawn rates here. Quite nice compared to some of the others that I've seen. Doing a lot better than I actually expected it to do, and I am quite pleased with this so far. So now I have to work on the collection system down there. I'm still not quite sure if I'm going to use the minecart idea or if I want to use the water stream idea. Might have to take a copy of this into creative and try both ways and see if it affects the spawn rates with the water streams or if it works out better with the minecarts. I really don't want to keep minecarts running constantly down there, but that might be what I have to do. I'm not really sure. So I think that's going to do it for this episode. What I'm going to do is bring in my camera account and have it kind of stand over here in mode 3 in spectator mode. That way I can stand up in the builder's hut up there, and then I can just record some of this footage of these guys dropping down, give you an idea of what the spawn rates are going to be, and if I have my camera account down here, that way it won't affect spawns. If I'm standing over here, it's probably keeping them from spawning in this area here because I'm within 24 blocks away. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the camera account in here, get that set up down here, record a little bit of this footage. In the meantime, I sure do appreciate you watching. My name is Angry Canine, and I will see you next time.